everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm here to do my weekly wrap up and my December TBR, so it's going to be a little bit longer. This is the only time I have to film. I'm off today. Sorry, hair. I'm off today. I work half day tomorrow, Friday and Saturday. Full days, so yeah, today's my only day off because my mom had an appointment this morning. So I finished 4 books last week, and I'll go through them. Let's see. The first one I finished was Wanted by Her Lost Lover. It's book 2, I think, in the Pregnancy and Passion by Maya Banks. Despite his fiance's chilling betrayal, developer Ryan Beardsley provided for Kelly Christian when he sent her packing. So he's livid to find her working in a dingy Houston diner. That's right. Okay. So they were engaged. And he heard that his fiance had slept with his brother. So he gave her a check and sent her packing. That morning she found out she was pregnant. So she's like, well, if he doesn't want me, I'm going to go. So she started working in Houston in a dingy diner, trying to take care of herself. Her mother refuses to help her because her boyfriend is more important than her daughter. So she's all alone. Then he hired a private investigator to find her because he wants to know why she left. Even she's like, you sent me packing. So then he walks in and finds her very pregnant, and it does go from there. His brother's POS. I did give this a 4. I'm pretty sure I gave it a 4. Yeah, I knew where it was going, but there's an attempted rape in here, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, so then the second book I finished was Charlotte's Web. Actually, I think I finished that one before this. I read it for a challenge. Everybody knows what Charlotte's Web is. I do have a copy of it. I just couldn't find it. So I listened to it. It's by E.B. White. Oh, I almost dropped it. About a girl who lives on a farm, has pigs. They're going to go and kill the runt. She decides to save it, raised it up, and then her uncle took possession of him. And then the animals talk to each other, and there's a spider, and it was one of my favorite books when I was growing up, and it always made me cry. It didn't this time, but because it might have been because I was kind of distracted listening to that part, but it always used to make me cry. So for nostalgia's sake and a challenge, I gave it a 5. So yeah. And then the next book I finished was The Greek Billionaire's Love Child by Sarah Morgan. I did give it a 4. They were dating, and usually he doesn't stay with women very long because, he has issues. He's like a specialist in pediatric care. She's a nurse in pediatric care. She finds out that she's pregnant again, and he gives her an email send-off. So there's that. She's upset. Her friend's like, just come stay with me. I'm pretty sure she starts working at a different hospital. It's just the way it's written. And so she's no, it's not about 6 months later. It's about 4 months later. So they were together for 6 months, and then 4 months later, she's at this hospital working, and he's the incoming specialist. And so he comes in, and she gives him the cold shoulder, like, you sent me packing, I want nothing to do with you. Because she also found out that he was a billionaire, and it's not so much that he has money, it's the fact that he hid it from her, and a wife. So she wants nothing to do with him. She doesn't do that because she saw these pictures in a magazine. She didn't read the headlines, though, or the story about those pictures. So yeah, I gave it a 4. It was kind of the one thing I really enjoyed about this though was the fact that he wasn't a doctor because of the money. He was a doctor because he wanted to take care of kids, and the way he was with his patients and the patients' families was top notch. That's the way doctors should be nowadays. Not this, I want the paycheck, I don't want to do anything crap. Yeah, or the gaslighting. The medical gaslighting it's getting out of hand. I know from experience. So, yeah, definitely a 4 for that one. And then I finished Joanna Lindsay's Captive Bride. It is a standalone. It is her very first novel. Take that with a grain of salt. Because there is kidnapping. Not quite rape. Kidnapping. It happens twice. Yeah, so this is about a woman, Christina, who her and her brother go to London for a visit. Her brother is a soldier. And so they're at this ball. Abu or Philip spots her and asks her to marry him immediately, and she says no. He sees her again, and he asks her again, and she says no. Like, you know. So then she goes back home to her estate, and her brother is expecting to be transferred to Egypt, but not for 6 months, and the order comes in like a week later. So he gets shipped off to Egypt, Cairo, and she goes along with him because they're very close. Their parents have passed on a long time ago. The night she gets into Cairo, she's kidnapped and taken to this desert tribe where Philip Abu is the sheik's son. And he has a brother that stays in London, wants nothing to do with really Cairo being part of that lifestyle, because their mother took them back to London when they were little. And then he has a half brother who's in Cairo with their father. You pretty much know where that storyline is going to go with the brother, just because of the way the writing is. I'm not going to say what happens, but so I did give this a 4 for nostalgia's sake. This wasn't the first book I read by her, but I think the first book I read by her was A Gentle Feuding. But she's still my favorite author, and I don't remember reading this one at all. I must have, but it would have been a long time ago. So yeah, you can tell it's written in the 70s. I think 77 was when it was first written or published. 1977. So things wouldn't fly nowadays in this book. But it is what it is. So that's what I finished. Currently reading, I'm still reading Chromosome 6 by Robin Cook. It is book 3 in the Laurie Montgomery Jack Stapleton series. They are medical examiners. You don't even meet Jack until book 2, but this one is about cloning. Not cloning people, cloning their body parts by changing the chromosome 6, taking like the DNA from the apes, and they're pretty much chimpanzees. I looked to see what a bonobo monkey or ape is, and it's pretty much the chimpanzees. But they take their chromosomes, and it's a description in here, but they inject part of the human one. They grow the parts in the animals for 3 years, and then they take them. Nice thought, but using animals just to reproduce body parts and then killing the animals is just not a thing for me. But you don't see that part, at least I haven't yet. You're just saying that it had happened in the past. So this starts off with a mob boss being murdered. It gets into the medical examiner's office. They don't even have a chance to look at it before it's stolen. And they're wondering what is going on. Why is his body, like, he's a mob boss, but why was it taken? Like, what? So then this other footless body is found. And so they're looking at this, and then it flips back from Equatorial Guinea in Africa, yes, to New York. So the medical examiners are in New York, and all the cloning is taking place in Equatorial Guinea. Don't say that 5 times fast. So you as the reader know what's going on, but the medical examiners have no clue. They're trying to piece together why this mob boss's body was stolen. What has... Yeah, they know things are happening, like he had a liver transplant. They can't find any record of the liver transplant. So, yeah, that's how that one's going. It's okay. It seems to be a lot long drawn out, this one. The first two were not this extensive. This one chapter alone is like 100 and some pages. So that should tell you how thick the book is. And I'm also reading Sweet Revenge by Nora Roberts. And the funny thing is, they both have sheiks in it. So this one, it starts off with a man telling his boss, whatever, that he is not going to do any thefts for him anymore because he's a thief, like a jewelry thief. He only does it for specific reasons. And then it goes back to the past, and he said, let me tell you about the Shadow, because the Shadow is another person, thief, that nobody knows who it is, except for him. The back of the book on my copy, because I forgot that I had a copy, spoiled it of who the Shadow is, but you kind of know who it is after reading some of it. So the next chapter, it starts off with her, Adrienne, when she's on her 5th birthday. And her dad is a sheik. She is half Arab, half white. Her mother is a former Hollywood actress. Things happen on her 5th birthday. He hates the fact that she's a girl. He married her mother because he wanted the exotic Westerner. And she provided him with a daughter instead of a son. And she can never have any other kids. So he's mad at that. He still wants her, but he's angry because she's a useless female. So he marries a second time, has a son. And all the while, he's mentally and emotionally, physically abusing her mother. So then it fast forwards a couple years. They go on a trip to Paris. Mother escapes with the daughter back to New York because all contact with any of her friends' family is completely obliterated. Abdu will not allow any contact. So it's just, and then, fast forward, and now Adrienne's 18. So every couple of chapters is several years. And then I'm just starting part 2 now, The Shadow. So now she's an adult. Her mother was given this necklace called the Sun and the Moon from Abdu, her husband. And he still has it. So pretty sure that is the first thing, or she's got a quest that is going to be the one piece of jewelry or anything that she wants to get back from her father, who has pretty much cut ties with her, refuses to help with her mother's care because her mother's a drug addict and an alcoholic because of her abuse from Abdu. So she makes it her quest to get this necklace back, that because her father's refused any help, money, but she's a princess. So there's that one. It's not as intriguing or fast-paced as her books normally are. I'm hoping now that once she's an adult, sorry, I keep shifting. Hopefully once she's an adult and things start picking up, then the book will start picking up. But right now it's slow. So, the Triple RC Challenge. I've also started, there was another group. I used to be a part of the 52, around the world in 52 weeks or something. I stopped doing that challenge. But this one is 52 book club. So it's a different like challenge. I just went in and plugged in most of my books that I've read this year, and I think I've gotten like 37 out of 52 already plugged in, so we're going to keep trying. But the I didn't even put this one up yet. The Triple RC challenge I still try and do every month. I just barely squeaked in November because of busyness. But so, challenge 1, happy December birthday. Read a book published in December or a book with blue or green on the cover in honor of December's birthstone, the turquoise. So, what was it? This was published in December. And I'm trying to go a little bit easier on these challenges with smaller books because it's December and working and lots of challenges. So, I'm choosing An Innocent in Paradise by Kate Carlisle. I don't know if it's book 2 in a series. I'm pretty sure it was book 2. I think the first one was How to Seduce a Billionaire, but I'm not positive on that. Oh, but it is part of another series, or like a spin-off of a different series. So I'm going to have to go back and look at that. Because it says, Dear reader, during the past year I've introduced you to the 3 Duke brothers, Adam, Brandon, and Cameron. Now it's time to meet their cousin, Logan Sutherland. Logan and his identical twin brother, Aiden, spent their younger years surfing and swimming and partying. So this is Logan's. So this is a spin-off of another series. I'll still read it. I won't like it. Anyways, so Grace Farrell is a genius scientist first, a woman a distant second, until she meets Logan Sutherland. The self-made millionaire is wickedly sexy, and with him, Grace learns a new lesson, how it feels to want a man. Yeah. So, there's that one. Second challenge is baby names. So they give you 4 names. You pick one. Either you read a book with a character with that name, the author's name, or what those names mean. So the names are Evangeline, which is messenger of good news, Savannah, which is open plain, Ian, which is God is gracious, and Vincent, which is victorious. So I chose, let's see if I can, Just Desserts by G.A. McKevitt, because it's a Savannah Reed. The character in it is Savannah Reed. She is a police officer. I only read this book once. The first chapter, sorry. Sorry. Last night. So it's, right now she's just on a stakeout, trying to get a man who's known to be, was it a sexual assaulter or a child rapist, something like that. And he was let out of jail, or he escaped out of jail, and they're picking him up. From what I know about it, they fire her for being overweight, and she's only 30 pounds overweight. So she decides to be a private investigator. So I haven't gotten to the firing part. I only just read the first chapter. And she's still working. But it does make a comment that she's 30 pounds overweight. She knows it. But apparently they fire her for being overweight, and she's no longer fit to be a police officer. I'm sorry, but if you've seen some of the police officers around here, they need to lose a little more than 30 pounds. So far that's it. So it's a cozy, but it's not, because she is a police investigator. She does go into police investigations, and apparently there's a gruesome murder in here. I'm still going to consider it a cozy, just for my sake. So, the third challenge is Featured Author Challenge, Molly Harper. Read one book written by her, or any author with her first or last name. Or you may read a book that has been shelved as paranormal, contemporary, or humor. You may also read a book with a character who works in the news media industry. Finally, you may read a book set in the Midwestern United States, and there's a whole list. Now, I started a series, was it How to How to Marry a Naked Werewolf or something like that. My library, not on Hoopla, not in physical, and not on Overdrive, has the second book in that series. So I had to go with a different one of her series. So I chose The Care and Feeding of Stray Vampires by Molly Harper, and it's book 1 in the Half Moon Hollow series. All I know is it's vampires, and she's hilarious. So we're going to read that one. Challenge 4 is 'Tis the Season, From Hanukkah to Christmas to Kwanzaa. And Festivus, if you've ever seen Seinfeld, you'll know what that means. December is a month of holiday celebrations. You may read a holiday romance or a book in which a celebration occurs. You may also read a book with a character who is cheerful, such as a book featuring the grumpy sunshine trope. So for this one, I chose... Nope. Sorry. It's an ebook. Christmas in the Cove by Carol Ross. It's a heartwarming Harlequin. It's book 1 in Pacific Cove series. And what was it? It's because it's Christmas. So there's that one. I don't know. Let's see. A DEA stealth mission has brought Coast Guard Lieutenant Commander Eli Pelletier home. But when he ends up aiding rescue swimmer Aubrey Wynn during her own harrowing mission, powerful emotions reignite between them. So it's a second chance romance. So challenge 5 is Mitten Tree Day, December 6th. As this day was established to facilitate the distribution of mittens to those in need, read a book with a character who is charitable or does something kind for another. You may also read a book featuring a school or a workplace, since there are places where mitten trees are commonly observed during the month of December. Finally, you may read a book set during winter or in a place with cold climate. For this one, I chose Snow Angel Cove by Rayanne Thane. It's book 1, Haven Point series. I don't know if she's a do-gooder or if I chose it just because of the winter, but nothing short of a miracle can restore Eliza Hayward's Christmas cheer. The job she pinned her dreams on has gone up in smoke, literally, and now she's stuck in an unfamiliar, if breathtaking, small town. Precariously close to being destitute, Eliza needs a hero, but she's not expecting one who almost runs her down with his car. So it is a do-gooder, and it's a Christmas thing. This series will come up again later in this challenge. So challenge 6, National Cocoa Day, December 13th. To recognize the domestication of the cacao tree from which the cocoa bean is derived, in South America, more than 5,000 years ago, read a historical romance. You may also read a book with a tree, plant, or flower on the cover. Alternatively, you may read a book that you consider to be cozy. And of course I went, because this is going to meet a couple of challenges, Call Home the Heart by Rebecca George. I've been trying to read this for months. No time. Things come up. It's going to try and happen this month. So yeah, it's one of the thicker books I have on this. So. And that one, I know it's historical, but ravishing redhead Cassandra Harding had never loved anyone as she loved Dickon, the gallant and handsome son and heir of the Duchess of Stratford and the first man in her life. But fate and the Duchess's malevolent designs drove the youthful lovers an ocean apart as Cassie found herself struggling for survival in distant America. So again, second chance romance. And that is 7. No. Did I miss? Nope, I didn't. 7 is Crossword Puzzle Day, December 21st. Read a book with a character who attempts to solve or find something, such as a detective or an archaeologist. You may also read a book with black or white on the cover, or a book set after 1913, the year in which the first crossword puzzle was published in New York, in the New York newspaper. So this one I was going with Cold Hearts by Sharon Sala. It's the book 2 in the Secrets and Lies trilogy. I read the first one several months ago. What was it? Warm Hearts? Wild Hearts. And this is a continuation, but I think it's different characters, but same town. And there's an ongoing mystery in all 3 of them. Of who killed her father's, the girl's father in the first book. So there's only one way to keep secrets buried. I'm not going to read it to you because it is book 2. And I can't remember what month I read it, but I think it was in the summer. So if you want to go back, and it's Wild Hearts by Sharon Sala. So challenge 8 is National Short Film Day, December 28th. Read a short story or a novella, generally defined as less than 160 pages, or a book by an author whose first or last name begins with one of the letters in short, so SHORT. Alternatively, you may read a book with a character who works in the entertainment industry. And so that one is going to be book point 5 in the Haven Point series. So her name starts with R. It's a short story. So A Haven Point Beginning by Rayanne Thane. I don't even know how long it is. 49 pages. So it's definitely under 160 pages. So I'll probably read that one first, obviously. And then challenge 9 is New Year's Eve, December 31st. To mark the clock striking midnight, read a book with a 1 or 2 in the publication date. You may also read the most recent book in a series, or a book with any of the following items commonly associated with New Year's Eve celebrations on the cover: fireworks, stars, balloons, hats, food, or drinks. Fun fact, I got engaged on New Year's, right as the ball dropped, of 1998. Yes, we got engaged right as the ball dropped, so right as 1998 started, and we got married in 1999. So, this is book 2 in the Matchmakers Inc. I don't know if it's a trilogy, by Catherine Gabera, and it's a case of kiss and tell, and there's fireworks on the cover. So this one is Be My Mistress for a Month. Billionaire bachelor Connor McAfee knows just what he's worth, and he's ready to make a deal. Nosy reporter Nicole Reynolds wants him, owner of New York's high-end matchmaking service, to spill his guts for her story. He'll tell all when she's in his bed. And then finally is the random choose a book. And this is, again, for a couple of challenges. Down there. And I've been wanting to read this author for a while now. Finally got a chance. So it's Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I think everybody knows it's a hockey team that something happens. So people say Beartown is finished. A tiny community nestled deep in the forest, it is slowly losing ground to the ever-encroaching trees. But down by the lake stands an old ice rink, built generations ago by the working men who founded the town. And that rink is the reason people in Beartown believe tomorrow will be better than today. Their junior hockey team is about to compete in the national championships, and they actually have a shot at winning. All the hopes and dreams of the town now rest on the shoulders of a handful of teenage boys. So I'm pretty sure there's something happening with one of the boys. And I've heard his writing is amazing. I never realized how thick it was until now. So that is the Triple RC challenge. I still have books for my A Million More Pages challenge. That probably won't get finished this year, but I'm trying to work on the 52 books book club. These books kind of meet some of the challenges. And this challenge, the size of the books don't matter. Whereas the reader's reading challenge, it wants you to have books that are a minimum of 150 pages long. And as well as the Million More Pages challenge, if I'm not mistaken. But this one, any size counts. So one of the challenges is to read a book that was published posthumously. And this was on their list of approved books, so I'm going with it because I think this one was published and then the rest of the series was published by her husband. I'm not sure. But it's Bunnicula by Deborah and James Howe, and it's the first in the series of Bunnicula series. So it's a children's book. It'll take me like an hour to read, if that. So, Vampire Bunny. Why not? I forget who's her channel name, but Christy. She doesn't make videos anymore, but her and her kids love that series. So, yeah. And then one of them is have to do with Greek mythology. So the best one I thought of was to continue on the series of Percy Jackson. So that's the Titan's Curse by Rick Riordan. I think this is book 3 in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. Yeah, the print is a lot smaller now. Anyways, so he's a half god. So, and in a like special school for gods and their offspring. This one is, I think it has to do with a character who is a refugee. So it's Next Time in Havana by Chanel Clayton. I'm not sure what this is all about. 1950 Havana, 1958. The daughter of a sugar baron, 19-year-old Eliza Perez is part of Cuba's high society where she is largely sheltered from the country's growing political unrest until she embarks on a clandestine affair with a passionate revolutionary. Miami, 2017. Freelance writer Marisol Ferreira grew up hearing romantic stories of Cuba from her late grandmother, Eliza, who was forced to flee with her family during the revolution. So, yeah. The next one was a body positive book. So I don't know if that Just Desserts is going to have any body positivity because it is made known right from the first that she is overweight. So if I can, I'll use that one. If not, then I got Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. This is part of the Simon. What is the name of that book? I know it's Simon. Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. So, and I know there's body positivity in it. I could also go for Dumplin' by Julie Murphy. I can speak. I'm just dry. And my tea is way over there. So yeah, I got this one. This one, I can't remember what the challenge part is for it, but I have not read anything by him yet and have been really wanting to. But it is How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. I know that this one's hit and miss with some people. We will see. I think it has to do with a haunted house. I'm not sure. I could be mistaken. But I know it fits a challenge somewhere. Ooh. And then these ones, they could fit challenges. Like, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 other books that I can... It's not going to happen, but I'm going to try. So, I think the other book... I don't know if this one will fit now. The one I wanted was not in the library. It was taken out. I think it was to finish a series, and that was One of Us is... No. One of Us is Lying, One of Us is Next, and One of Us is Back. I think that's the title of the one. I wanted to get that one. I grabbed this one just in case it might fit. But You'll Be the Death of Me by Karen M. McManus. Keep Your Friends Close and Your Enemies Closer. It actually does not have a description on it. But I do like her books. This one has to do with siblings. And I saw it there and I just figured I'd pick it up. I didn't expect it to be this small. But My Sister, the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite. Yeah, so it's supposed to be her sister is a serial killer. So, siblings. I can't remember what this one is. Challenge this will meet. If it's to start a series, I can't remember. But it's Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. First book in the Vampire Academy. It's been on my TBR for years, so I figured I might as well grab it now. And the other one that I'm hoping to get to, amongst others, is Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil by John Brent. Oh, there's that one over there. Can't remember what this one was for either. I know it's a true story. In Savannah, Georgia. Well, this came from Willoughby. Nope, that's ours. It's a street in our city. But yeah, this is a true story, but there's no pictures, which really bums me out. Shots rang out in Savannah's grandest mansion in the misty early morning hours of May 2nd, 1981. Was it murder or self-defense? For nearly a decade, the shooting and its aftermath reverberated throughout this hauntingly beautiful city of moss-hung oaks and shaded squares. John Brent's sharply observed, suspenseful, and witty narrative reads like a thoroughly engrossing novel, and yet it is a work of nonfiction. So, there's that one. And then I'm going to quickly go grab it. I got this from my husband because he likes Danny Trejo. I do too. But the prompt for the challenge was read a book with a subtitle. And this is Trejo, My Life of Crime, Redemption, and Hollywood by Danny Trejo and Donal Logue. So, yeah. We like Danny. My favorite movie that he was in was From Dusk Till Dawn. George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino and Salma Hayek. My husband's favorite is Machete. So, yeah. I will be reading that one. That is it. Amongst others, if I can fit them in. Like, there's A Darker Shade of Magic, 13th Tale, Water for Elephants, Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Pride, Glitter, a whole bunch of other ones. So, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, comment, and subscribe. And I think that's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you later. Bye!